Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, along with not the head coach. The head coach had a medical problem he had to take care of, nothing serious. And joining us now is assistant coach Chris Conway. And Chris, first of all, I will say that this is the first ever all Delaney graduate Tiger Men's Basketball Report.
Yeah. Delaney grad 2012. So happy to be on, Spiro.
Well, a rough week for the Tigers. You had the game against Clemson last Wednesday where the Tigers beat the Tigers by 5 points, but in a game where for about 35 minutes, you guys played really, really well.
Yeah, no, I thought both games, we put ourselves in positions to win. There's a lot to learn from both games. I thought against Clemson, obviously it's tough to win, when you give up 14 threes like we did. But shockingly, we were still in the game. We were up, I think, 9 points in the second half with a chance to win. So, I thought offensively we played pretty well against Clemson. There's obviously room to improve, on both sides of the ball. I think defensively, that game, I think, is what cost us. I think we could have had better hand activity on the basketball. And, when you give up 14 3-pointers in transition, whether it's, when you're in your ball screen defense, it's just it can't happen. So I think our team hopefully learned a valuable lesson from that. And then obviously yesterday against Navy, that was a tough game. Another game we were in a position to win the second half. We had a lead in the second half, and these are all valuable learning experiences for our team moving forward as we get into conference play.
And again, you played both the Clemson game and the Navy game without Jason Gibson and Rodier Hicks. And your brother Ryan has stepped into kind of like that point guard role, although really Cam Holden, it seems to be running the offense for the most part. How much missing, especially Jason, does that affect guys like Cam and Nick Timberlake?
I think it's huge. Obviously Gibby, he was really a borderline all conference guy last year. And, this year, I think would have continued to have a great year. And he was having a great year for us. Gibby's ability, obviously knowing the offense, he's played so many minutes under Coach Scary, knowing the offense, being able another guy that can handle the ball, another guy that has been invaluable, game like, tough college game like experience with minutes. So, it hurts a lot. I mean, Gibby can hit a shot. He's another leader on the court. I think there's a big word is, guys trust him. And obviously Ryan, he's done I think a good job stepping into that role. And then when you take away a guy like Rodier and Gibby, our ball handling and guys that can run the point guard position, we are thin at that spot right now. And, we got to find a way, like Coach always says, it's the next man up, and we got to find a way to somehow, get these next two non-conference games and hopefully head into conference season with a good feeling under our belt. So
now Ryan, everybody knows he redshirted at Seton Hall last year. But what many people may not realize was that the year before, his high school season was canceled. So he's really gone 2 years without playing. Can you see his growth of getting back into game mode? Not that he was out of shape, but, there's a difference between working out and everything and then being in a game.
Oh, for sure. No, 100%. I mean, the improvement he's made here at Towson since when he got here in June, it's been remarkable. Just having, he obviously hears my voice, he hears Coach Scary's voice, but I think, having a whole staff that takes a lot of time with him, Coach Clark, Coach O'Connell, Parr, all those guys, he's learned from each and every one of us, and you can see a difference if you've seen him from June to now. He's a totally different player. Our motto here is always next man up, and I feel like even with him out there, we are able to. Our mindset is still to win, every game that we're playing, even without Gibson right now. And hopefully when we get Rodier back, hopefully soon, we'll be in a position still that, our mindset is still to, it's next man up, and we got to be able to still get the job done. But yeah, as far as Ryan, I feel like he's made a ton of improvement. A lot of guys, like you said, he didn't get to play his senior year. He didn't get the game experience last year at Seton Hall. He got the practice experience, but, until you get that game experience, you really don't get that that real feeling of like college basketball, which, I feel like he's made a huge improvement this year. So.
All right, coming up next is Northern Iowa, a team that year in and year out is a favorite in the Missouri Valley Conference. You know they're going to be good. They've got guys averaging 20 points a game. They've had a tough schedule. They're 3-6 going into us recording tonight. Going to be a different atmosphere. Neither team will be at home. It's at the United Center, and the guys got to be pumped to be playing in the building that basically Michael Jordan built.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. When we took this game, one of the big sells was obviously getting to play in the United Center. We're leaving on Thursday night, and we're gonna spend some time down in Chicago, and it's a great experience. What more can you ask for? Getting to play in front of an arena, 20,000 seats, and against a good mid-major program in Northern Iowa, who's made the NCAA tournament, I think 4 times under their coach. I think it's a great opportunity for us. Great tournament, or not tournament, a great event being held, and hopefully we can come out with a win and come back home to Towson with another victory. So,
and kind of a situation that you had in Savannah, where you played Fairfield, Mercer, and South Alabama, schools that Towson hadn't played before or in many, many years. And here you just played games against Long Island and against Navy, who you had played last year. So you have some familiarity. How do you get the scouting done for a team that you have not played before?
I think all of our assistants. We all break up the games, and Coach O'Connell's handling Northern Iowa, and obviously we all watch every team that we play. But I think that as far as scouting, we're going to watch all their games that they play. We're going to watch all their possessions, and we're going to see, what the best way we believe that it is to beat them. We'll look at offense, we'll look at defense, and see which ways that we can exploit. And the biggest thing with them is obviously, the kid Bowen Bourne. He's a very good player. They run a lot of 5-out stuff, a lot of Chicago down screen dribble handoffs and 5-outs and 5-out action. So we need to do a great job being able to defend them. The ball's going to move. They're a very good offensive team, and we have to figure out how to defend them. I think that's going to be the most important thing as far as scouting with them.
Any of the teams that you've played so far this year have a similar offensive set that you can look back and say, okay, we played these guys, they're similar to Northern Iowa?
As far as getting into elbow action, playing through the 5, you could take a look at like maybe Penn. Fairfield did some stuff like that. Even Navy yesterday, they lifted their 5s and played through their 5s a lot. As far as the kid Bowen Bourne, averaging 21 points. I don't know if those teams had someone like that. Obviously Penn, they had Dingle and everything, but as far as offensive style, I'm sure Penn, Fairfield, those are kind of teams that kind of played like them a little bit. So,
well, I'm sure the players, happy that the non-conference season is winding down, and you've got the big matchup coming up New Year's Eve against the College of Charleston. You think you'll see a difference once the non-conference season ends, that maybe a little more pep in the step as you get ready for conference play?
I think, we'd be fooling ourselves if obviously the every game you approach, like you want to win the game. Obviously, when you get into that conference season, it's a lot different when you're playing teams that you're going to play twice, teams that you have history with, teams that, every game truly matters in conference as far as, where your seating is going to take place in your conference. I think obviously there is a different, conference season it is different, but, I don't think our guys, they're very locked in on getting these next 2 as far as we want to feel good going into College of Charleston, going into our first conference game. So, these 2 games are very important for us as a program, and hopefully we can get them both. So,
well, Chris, we appreciate you filling in for Coach Scarry today on short notice, and hopefully a win on Saturday against Northern Iowa, and finish things up in non-conference against Bryant with another victory. Thanks again for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Spiro. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. And that'll do it for this edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. Thanks for tuning in.